Welcome to Automotion X. Today we are going to be looking at Tesla Model Y. This is a 2022 year model, and we're gonna dive right in and figure out whether you should buy it or should you just rent it. Let's dive right in. One of the major items that catches everyone's eyes when you're looking at the side of the car is where are the door handles. You know, that is one of the things that Tesla has really done remarkably, made sure that the car aerodynamics stay as perfect as possible, and if they could, I'm sure that they would remove the side view mirror as well, because this just creates a hindrance in the aerodynamics and gives you less range and less performance for this electric vehicle due to the air drag. What they've done, however, to make the doors more accessible is that you would press on the bigger side of this door handle. The door handle comes out like this, and then you can open this door, and this door feels very solid. But as soon as you close it, it gives you that same old Corolla, Civic feel, because the doors are lighter on those vehicles, and this does also gives you that quick thump that the luxury car is not supposed to have. Luxury car is supposed to make you feel that someone is inside the vehicle and they have grabbed the door, rather than slamming the door in and making that thump noise. Other than that, we see that there's a little nub over here for the side camera. So when you're turning left or right, this camera comes on the screen and shows you the view behind you, as opposed to looking at the side mirror. And I'm sure that these side mirrors are going to be phased out very soon over here. One of the other things that I do see on the Tesla are these low profile tires. Now I gotta tell you guys, over the weekend, just going over a curb really fast into a gas station made one of these tires blow out. So that alone was a $500 expense that I had to pay, mainly because the tires for the Tesla are the special tires, and you cannot just have any regular tires. So $500 for that one tire. So that's an introduction and welcoming you guys to this new world of vehicles that will only require certain maintenances, but those maintenances are going to cost you a lot of money. So this Tesla is paving the road for those vehicles that you cannot do anything on in terms of repairability. The only thing that can be done is through the dealership, and the only thing that can be installed are the proprietary parts that are sold through the dealership. So anyone who's even trying to resell them at other places are going to have to pay the dealership prices, because these items that this vehicle is equipped with are from the dealer only. One of the other items that this side only has are the charging port. So you touch this and the charging port welcomes you, and you can just plug in the charge port right over here, and then as soon as it opens closes automatically as well. Looking at the front of this bumper, one cannot help but notice that there's no ventilation. Now, why is that? Of course, knowing the fact that this is an electric vehicle, it needs to have as much aerodynamics as possible, and it doesn't need all that air ventilation that gasoline cars require. So Tesla, instead of getting those bigger and bigger grills that BMW and Lexus is leading the way for, Tesla has decided to go the other way and keep the front bumper as clean as possible with as many features as possible. So given the fact that it is all covered up, Tesla has made sure that the parking sensors are as sleekly embedded into the front bumper as possible. So you cannot even really feel it unless you actually take a look at it closely and you run your finger on top of it. So the parking sensor is really nicely sleekly put into the front bumper, and I really admire the fact that it is a nice and clean look. We do have some ventilation down in the bottom of the bumper to of course keep the batteries cool, but this is a very nice and sleek look of the Tesla Model Y in the year 2022. Now, looking at the rear of this vehicle, again, you see the Tesla's uniformity in the smoothness. It's very nice and smooth. We have a rear view camera with the wide fish view angle, and we have the parking sensors over here, very typical of modern vehicles these days. This one comes with a dual motor, and that gives you, as I've shown in the drive videos, this thing really pulls. 480 horsepower in this one. This is the range model, so we get that 480 horsepower, and you get about 580 kilometers per charge. The charge requires about the whole 12 hours if you have the 240 watt charger, but if you have the regular wall plug charger, then you're definitely looking at about 24 hours. However, the supercharger, if it is available, charges the whole vehicle in about an hour. So those are some of the things that you need to be keeping an eye on and keeping it in your mind, because you cannot plan any of your trips unless you know that you got the charging port. Of course, I have the portable charging port with me, which just goes into the plug, but getting that 240 is a trick, as well as going to the supercharger. They're very widely spread out, so you need to plan your trips properly. Now we'll start the interior from the rear side of this in this Tesla, and one of the things that catches my eye immediately is the extreme flatness of this, which I really admire. Great job. But that doesn't end right there. We get a huge bucket over here as well, that you can use for your storage purposes. You know what, guys, the only other vehicle I've seen a bucket that is as big as this is only in a Toyota Sienna or a Honda Odyssey and minivans like that. So this is very useful and very well thought out. Good job, Tesla, on this. As you can see, my charger is in there and my long cord is in there, so I can make sure that I have the ability to charge the vehicle to wherever I am. It also comes with this side pocket over here and another side pocket over here, and these are pretty deep pockets as well, no pun intended. Of course, you do need to have deep pockets to make sure that you can get this vehicle. However, moving into the seats compartment, basically this is just like any of the other luxury vehicles, SUVs that are coming nowadays. You have the two buttons over here to make sure that the seats can go down. So you press this and the seat goes down, and then you press the other one and the other seat goes down. So you get a whole flat bed. Two passengers still can easily sit comfortably and have decent amount of storage in the rear. Now moving into the passenger side of this vehicle, you can see that at the bottom it does say Model Y, which is a really nice luxury feel that we've been used to since the 90s. If the door panel has the model name written on it like this, usually it's in a metal piece, but irregardless of that, it says Model Y. I'm happy in regards to the luxury feel. Moving into the passenger side, this are the only two adjustments that you get. Of course, that's the recline, and that's the seat moving forward and backwards, and then up and down as well. So that's pretty nice. I'm glad that they didn't go with the manual seat controls. Again, the door panel has that same rubbery, velvety, leathery and plastic feel. So it's 4 different material being used in this door trim. One thing that I really admire is the simulated wood that is over here. It even actually feels like it's real wood, so that's a really nice touch. And then of course there's no real feature to go over in the Tesla other than the screen. So let's dive right into that screen, go over the main features, and not bore you to death in how many in terms of how many things you can do. The screen is more than just navigation or some changing your music or whatnot. Everything is in this screen. So one of the major things that Tesla has done to help with that obstacle with some of the people, as we can imagine, would be less technologically bound, would be that this, instead of going and fishing through all the menus over here, you can just literally press this button and get to the items that you want to get to. So let's just test that. Change climate control. So as soon as I did that, you saw that the climate control information just showed up. I also, let's say I want to do something else. Navigation, of course, we know that navigation is voice controlled, but everything in this car is voice controlled. So you can adjust the steering wheel. You can adjust anything that you want. So for example, adjust steering wheel. So now it's saying just press the button on the steering wheel that is right over here. So see, my steering wheel is moving up or down, left, back and forward as soon as I move this. So that's one of the things that is very useful in the Tesla, given that extreme amount of no, I'm gonna take the regular road. Given that extreme amount of complication in the menus. Biggest highlight of this vehicle is the moonroof. So take a look at this, guys. You have all of this available to you. So as far as you can see, there is the end. So you get this moonroof over here, which is gorgeous. You get that ability to see the stars in long journeys and have some fun, not feel claustrophobic inside your vehicle. So this is a great feature. Now that the trunk is closed, we can see the front is still open, and I would just have to go back outside and open it up and then close it back down so that this thing can go down. So let me do that really quickly. So that closes the front, and now you can see that it's showing that all of them are closed. So as you guys could see that the door for the driver's side opened up, and when it closed down, there was a little animation that played and it closed it down. Now, overall, looking at this screen, and you see that there's no dashboard over here, there's nothing else over there. You're only presented with the indicator stub over here and the gear shifter stub over here. So what are you supposed to be doing in order to be seeing all the other features that this vehicle has? Now, of course, all of it is hidden over here, but the major feature that I want to demonstrate in this is that if you cannot find a feature, the only thing you have to do is this. Steering wheel adjustment. So now there you go. I wanted to just move the steering wheel, and now it's presented me with this screen that use the left scroll wheel to adjust your steering wheel column. So that is right over here. As you can see at the edge of my screen, it's as I'm moving it, the steering wheel is moving as well. As I move it to the side, the steering wheel moves backward. If I move it to the front, the steering wheel moves to the front. So that's basically what we get in all of this in this Tesla. You get that ability to move, find the feature right over there with voice control, and then use the left-hand wheel to make the adjustment. So that is a very, very admirable feature that they have added, given the fact that this has all of this complicated menu items in there. Now, let me just show you another item so that you guys can understand that all of the items that you basically can find through the menu can be found over here. Station, your steering wheel adjustment, to climate control, turn on AC to 18 degrees. There you go. That is all done. Now, in terms of the air conditioning, I want to show you guys a cool feature, which is, of course, nothing to do with the voice command, but when you turn this on, look at this. You actually get the ability to move the air coming through the vents with your fingers. So you can open it up like this, so the air has gone out like this, or you can bring it in like this. I can move it up or down like this. So very cool features in here. You also get your steering wheel and your windshield warmer ability over here, along with your heated seat control. Now let's see the rear passenger compartment. As I have lowered the seat, you guys can see that it is pretty decently flat on this side. And if I put the seats back up, you are presented with a decent amount of space for a passenger to be comfortable in. And as well, you have a little bit of reclining over here. You can press this button on top and you get a little bit of a recline on there. Pretty typical on a vehicle like this. In terms of the storage, guys, we have a big pocket over here for your driver's side door, as well as you have a big pocket over there in the passenger side door. You get a glove compartment over here, as well as you get a little bit of a storage space over here. You guys can see this is pretty deep. I have my chargers and everything in there, so that is very nice. You get a USB-C port in there, so that's really nice. You get actually 2 USB-C ports in there, and then you also get 2 cup holders over here, which is very nice. Without cup holders, of course, you can't really enjoy your ride. And then the final thing is this glove storage compartment that opens up like this, and you get all of the storage in here, and this is pretty deep as well. So you get a light. I have some paperwork in there, and that's basically it. So in terms of the storage, it's very nice and sleek. You don't really get to complain much about storage in this, because you get the driver's side, you get the passenger side, you get the glove compartment, you get this big storage space, as well as you get this storage compartment in the center that we are used to. One great feature in this is that where do you put your cell phone? You put your cell phones here and they wirelessly charge. So you have one wireless charge space here and another wireless charging space here. One thing that I really like is this velvet feel on the door panels. So it gives you that nice luxury feel with this simulated rubbery leather material on top, as well as you get this leatherette material over here. So the whole door panel does look really nice. This part is all plastic, this is leatherette. Here we have velvet, and then we have a little bit of a rubbery leather on top. So there's 3 different materials being used to finish up this door in the rear. Okay, let's get reversing. Oh my god, wow. This does really feel like the future. You have this whizzing noise coming that makes you feel like you're in some sort of a Jetson spacecraft. And you have these left and right side mirror view. You basically don't need to look at the side view mirrors. Wow, this is awesome. And then we have a regular rear view camera, as if that wasn't enough. That's awesome. Wow. Let's see. Wow. You just touch the gas and it goes and glides down. Wow. Feels a little bit surreal. Oh man, it's so sensitive. That's crazy. So I'm going through some gravel road now, and let's see how this thing performs. One of the complaints that I do have about the Tesla is that you do feel pretty much every bump on the road, and it's a little bit, you know, it's not luxury. It's not screaming luxury in that regard. So it is one of the concerns that you feel on the road. You feel every bump. The car feels a bit light, and at that expensive price of this vehicle, you know, that is something that you wouldn't really expect. So that is a feature that they could have worked on a little bit and made sure that the suspension is a little bit more advanced. Driving the trucks, of course, the modern day trucks, they make you feel like that there's nothing on the road, even if there's a big bump. One of the only ways to describe the acceleration feeling that you get in a Tesla, given the fact that we are all pretty much used to driving gasoline vehicles, is the best type of a turbo that a car is equipped with. This is what it feels like. The second you press the gas, you're just taken back and you're just given all of that power at your footrest. It's just amazing. That is one of the best, by far the best feature of Tesla. It's the acceleration and that G-force is just unmatched by any vehicle that I've ever driven. And I've driven pretty fast vehicles. I've driven the GTR that gives you that ultimate acceleration feeling that is nowhere close to just this regular Model Y acceleration that you can get from this vehicle. So that is very great. Let me just demonstrate that once more. You're at 85 right now. I'm gonna give it gas and just take a look at the acceleration right over here. Like, I went from 85 to 100 in a matter of a second. It's not far-fetched at all. It's amazing and it's beautiful. One of the things that you have to pay attention to as you're driving is the charge left on the vehicle. So my eyes are always on this. That's basically about 30% if you were looking at your phone. So that's what you're looking at when you're driving. You're not looking at the fuel gauge, you're looking at the battery remaining. So we're going through the beautiful countryside. It's end of September and it's still super beautiful, as you guys can see. Yellow fields on my left and yellowish fields on my right. Very beautiful part of Calgary, north of Calgary over here. Looks really beautiful.